866-997-GRIT is our number. Brothers and sisters, I'm here to tell you that Keith Price does not define excellence as he feels he redefines it every time he leaves the house. He's a comedian, he's an actor, he's a writer, he's a broadcaster extraordinaire. He was the first openly gay black radio host at Sirius XM, co-anchored the morning show on the late lamented channel OutQ, which I still miss, and make sure to catch his wonderful Broadway podcast, Keith Price's Curtain Call, because Broadway's coming back and he is the comedy daddy. Keith, welcome back.
Hey, Johnny. How you doing? What's going on? What's happening?
I'm very good. How are you doing? I heard that you finally made it back into a cinema this week.
I did. I made myself, I prepped. I was all prepared with, had the vaccine down. I had my extra mask. I brought the
very
stuff
nice.
to wipe down the seats.
Very good. I have many questions about the process. Let me ask you, though, my big one. What was the last movie? Can you remember when was the last movie you saw in a theater? I'm asking everyone this if they can remember their last concert, their last play, their last movie in a theater.
Oh, my God. Well, the last thing I saw in the theater was, I think it was Tina, the musical.
Okay.
And the last thing I saw in a movie theater, oh, my God, John, I can't even think. That's just so amazing. Like, I haven't even thought about movie theaters because I've been so Netflixed out.
I know. We've talked about it a lot on the show the last year. I took my kid to see the Harrison Ford remake of Call of the Wild, which is actually pretty good. And then it was like a school week. It was like the Wednesday, the 11th, right before everything shut down. And Charmy and I just sneaked out to a 10:30 a.m. showing to see 1917 at Lincoln Center, and like in the morning with nobody there. And I had no idea that I would go a year and a half without going back into a movie theater.
It's crazy, and it felt so weird too because it was like I walked in and it was like real quiet down on the first level. It was at the Regal Ewok on 42nd Street, and then
great theater, yeah. But was it crowded? I mean that movie broke records this weekend for the pandemic. Like people went and saw Godzilla vs. Kong, but it looks like a lot of people went to see A Quiet Place Part 2.
Oh, but it was so good. It was so good. I loved the first one because the first one really gave me a lot of agita because it's like, what are you people doing? You people are crazy. I don't understand. And then you get to the second one and you're just like, you're still crazy. I don't understand, but this is so damn. It's like every little bit of it, the jumps. It was the perfect screen event for someone. If you like a little scary, but you don't want it too scary, but at the same time you want a good story, like just. Shout out to Krasinski, man. He did his thing.
Well, let me ask you about it because this movie was supposed to open a year ago. Like the gigantic billboard was outside Sirius XM over a year ago in March of 2020. I love the original A Quiet Place. I am a big horror movie guy. I love good horror films. I'm a geek on it. I will talk horror movies all day with the right people. I don't like bad slasher movies. And A Quiet Place was a brilliant concept, a really scary script, not a huge budget, and they really made it a great story. And they managed to do the hardest thing in horror, show you something that's scary and familiar in the genre, but it's something you've never seen before. How do they carry that on for the sequel?
It's like you what they did is that they took the story further because it was like, you remember how it ends at the first one?
Sad ending.
And so then what happens is that they have to continue on. Like they literally pick up from the next day. But
now they know how to kill these monsters, and so now it's a new world.
And navigating through, getting to other people and meeting other folks and, finding different vistas with people. It was really done very, very well, and like making more out of the story with the daughter and the son, and then you remember they have the baby, and it's just like there was just so much going on. And you're like, why would anybody even think about having a child in this world, much less that one? Like,
well, I don't know if they planned on having it. Remember, because their son got eaten in the first 5 minutes of the first one. I'm not ruining anything with that. It's the first scene of the movie.
You guys are talking about this movie?
Yeah, but this one,
A Summer Place?
No, not A Summer Place, A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place.
Stop drinking when we're doing the show.
No, but it was
it's just rubbing alcohol.
It was the perfect film to break my going to the movie cherry. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like,
yeah, no, we're trying to go see it. It's just they don't have early shows yet in New York City, and my kid gets out of school. I have to pick him up at school every afternoon. So we haven't found an early enough show that I can do it, and I'm not back at the point yet, Keith, where For me, going to see a movie, it's $100. I got to get a babysitter, so I'm waiting
Yeah.
till I can see it when my
Yeah,
child's
and
not
the
around.
thing is that this one, like I saw it in 4DX. Like I took myself, I went the full
You did
fucking like
4DX, huh? How was
did
the 4DX,
4DX
Keith?
with the chairs. Oh my god, amazing! It was just so. It was like just that extra. You know what it is? I think to me that's what made this experience with this film that much better because
Right
I
on.
think like the first film was beautiful on its own. But this one is a great story. But when you added those extra elements of kind of the shaking and the moving and the, like when
Oh, because the
they
chair. Yeah, I've seen movies in that theater. I
everything
know the one
moved,
you mean.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
it was awesome. It
Well,
was
now you got me jealous, Chris. You gonna go see any movies in South Carolina? They never closed in South Carolina, did they? Nothing
They
closed in
actually
South Carolina.
they did close. They opened earlier though. I'm sure. I have never seen A Quiet Place, so
Oh, it's really good.
Ooh.
You
I
should
looked
rent
at
it some night.
I looked at the marquee of the theater, and weirdly, most of the films that are playing right now are also available on demand. So I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, I've seen it
Yeah,
already.
this one, if you're
Oh,
gonna
you
do
wait a minute.
one
You've already
to
you
it.
have seen it?
No, not A Quiet Place 2, but like a lot of the
Oh,
other movies that are out there,
yeah.
like
I hear you.
Wrath of Man.
My wife, not the horror person I am, but she likes good movies, and I told her trust me on this, and she loved it. It's real. I went with Alison Bales, who's a film critic, used to do the show all the time, and she's British and erudite and brilliant, and she loved it. It's such good storytelling. Really good
The
movie.
best. And
Keith,
again,
I'm glad.
the element of being able to use the sound and then taking sound completely out of it.
Yeah.
It was so much going on. It was just like I couldn't believe how awesome the second round was because I kept thinking, well, you're going to have to really step up the game, because the first one was so good.
Right.
But like they even give you a whole little like a moment where they explain how it all happened.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I saw in the trailer for the movie, they show the flashback scene for when the aliens first landed. It was quite
Now,
scary in the trailer.
I don't know anything about this film, Keith, but
Well,
judging solely by the title, A Quiet Place, is it a movie about a person trying to take a phone call in public in New York City?
Why?
can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Hang on. I'm just trying to find A Quiet Place.
Oh,
Well, I'm excited for it. I want to point out, by the way, that the first trailer for the Black Widow movie was shown at Comic-Con December 3rd of 2019, and the movie's finally opening next month. So we've waited a long time for some of these.
Black Widow. Oh, you
Marvel.
know what other movie though I wish I would have seen in the movie theater, except that it came on demand, and I'm glad that I just saw it anyway.
What?
Is that film Nobody? Bob
Oh, with Bob
Odenkirk.
Odenkirk. Yes. But Chris, did you see
That
Nobody?
movie was awesome.
Yeah.
It's like,
I-
Yeah.
You said it was going to be like Odenkirk's John Wick franchise, right?
yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yes. And it's it's smart. It's Bob Odenkirk still gets to be funny, but in a different kind of way. It's just I was like, and normally I don't get all excited about action films, because I'm from the Rambo period, so you got to really work hard to show me how you're going to be blowing stuff up. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's like you got to step up your blowing up game for me at this point. And I'm telling you, watching him kick ass and shooting and carrying on through that movie was the best that I've ever seen. And I mean, and I like him already.
I'm
but
excited
that
to see
was
it.
Like,
I'm
step
excited
up.
to see it. I like the new era of the movies opening on TV the same day they open in the theaters. We watched Raya and the Last Dragon the day it came out, and it was wonderful. I watched Invisible Man last year, which is terrific. And I just saw News of the World with Tom Hanks, which is a quite a good movie. And really a movie Tom Hanks had made and hired Paul Greengrass to make it, so that makes it even more interesting. But you got me excited, Keith, and I'm also excited that we're talking about movies and culture, and we're able to do this again. It seems so mundane.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're talking about movies because we haven't been able to do it in over a year.
Over
So
a year.
I'm
looking forward to In the Heights next week too. The
that's
musical.
next
Yeah.
week, yeah. The billboards are all over the city. I'm so excited, Keith. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you like the movie. I will go see it. You want to talk to some of the listeners? We have a lot of people on hold.
Yes,
Let's get to it. We're at 866-997-GRIT, and Charles has been on hold in Miami forever.